Here I am on Las Vistas Beach in Los Cristianos, and have you ever wondered what it's like to live in Los Cristianos or maybe have a holiday home here? This video is going to help you. I've split Los Cristianos up into four, north, east and west, and then the central part I've put as like centre, town centre, and then I've put Old Town for being like the original buildings around by the port and by Los Cristianos Beach just over there. So if you ever wondered what it's like to own a property here in Los Cristianos, you will know the best places, and we'll also find out where, if we didn't have so many dogs, where I'd like to live. I don't know if Anna would like to live there, better ask her first really, but where I'd like to live in Los Cristianos as well. Let's get on with the video. So now we're going to look at the eastern side of Los Cristianos. So I've made this from Pico Tropical right on the front there, up to the market, going up to the language school there and up to the paddle court at the top. So we'll have a look at this area. So this is Pico Tropical. There's three phases for Pico Tropical. And one of them is right on the seafront, in fact in front of these lots of buildings here. Now this building, this complex here is called El Rincon, and behind me is the Guaza Mountain. It's the mountain that splits Los Cristianos and Palma. And then you've got the row of townhouses here, which is called Pico Tropical 3, and you've got this row of, I think it's about 8 or 10 villas here, which are right on the seafront. I mean, you can't get a much nicer view from there. And now we've got this tall tower here, which a lot of you will know, and that's Costa Mar. So we've got Paloma Beach there again. You can do holiday rentals there. Great position to be in, and right opposite the beach. Walking along the road here, we've got a nice selection of bars, and you've got Iceland, and on the right hand side you've got the Superdino. And this complex, which is called Cristimar, it's becoming really popular there. Los Angeles, again on the same street. Los Angeles is actually in front of the Verona Grand Hotel right on the seafront. So again, you know where you are, it's just across the road from the beach. Now at the other end you've got the market, so this row of bars here is just behind the market. It's just nice to sit there and watch the world go by. Some of you will probably know that next door there were a load of squatters, but they got them out I think at the start of 2021 and maybe the end of 2020. Now it's all been boarded up so they can't get in. But here's the market. It's open on a Sunday for sure, and I think it's a Tuesday market as well. And across the road, we've got Jardines del Sur and Jardines Canario. They've both had their swimming pools done as well. And just the whole area just looks a lot nicer for it. And again, they're really, really popular because they're right in front of the beach. Easy flat walk into town from there as well. Right, so we've got the taxi rank right next door to the market, and that building there was Comodoro. Now up this road here on the left-hand side, you've got Ceres. Ceres has got a place in Anna and my hearts, because this is the first place we ever stayed in Los Cristianos. I think we stayed there probably 18 months. Just a bit further up the road on the right-hand side, there's this urbanisation, let's say. It's a group of, I'm going to say, 10 bungalows, something like that, called La Perla. They're all private houses, and again, a really easy walk into town. Up there, we've got Victoria Court 2, really popular holiday destination, and I think long-term living on there as well. And if there's a Victoria Court 2, there must be Victoria Court 1, and here it is. So this is right next door to Victoria Court 2. So over the back of Victoria Court 1, you've got this complex here called Playa Graciosa. It's the complex with blue tiles on the roof. There's 3 phases to this, and all of them are really, really nice. It's like tropical gardens when you go inside. I really like this complex. In fact, I really like this area. Now, this is Pico Tropical. So this was the second place that Anna and I lived in when we were in Los Cristianos. Really nice and well looked after, and a lovely pool area as well. The only thing I would say is at the moment a lot of these have got a nice view out across this land down to the sea, but this land here, I think they'll be having a hotel built there one day. As I said earlier, this is the end, so you've got Pico Tropical 3 and also these villas here right on the front line. So going back to where we left the main road there at Victoria Court 1, we've got a complex called El Mirador. Now this is quite a large complex made up of 2-bedroom apartments. The downstairs apartment has a garden and the upstairs apartment has a roof terrace with those spiral staircases. Now this is built just behind this row of bars. You know, if you're near to that sort of row of bars, you might have to put up with some noise, but it's a great complex and really, really central. You've got the shopping centre here, the Passerella Centre. Now opposite the Passerella Centre, you've got 2 complexes here. One is called Portofino and one is called Porto Nuevo. And they were both built around the same time, and they both have a very similar name, so it can get very confusing. This is Portofino here, the one with the white villas, and Porto Nuevo is the one with the townhouses up behind me. Now behind these villas here, you've got this complex called Los Ceres, and behind that, the white one, that is called Summerland. Again, great residential place. Some of them will be ideal for holiday as well. I'm sure they allow it. Now these complexes are right next door to the language school here, so if you're coming over and you want to learn some Spanish or any language, I think they do English and Chinese and everything in there, then there's the place to go. So moving along now towards the Guaza Mountain, so here you've got the Hotel Paradise Park, and then just behind that you've got Dinastia. Nice place to go on holiday, Great place to own an apartment, again, because you're quite close to town. You've got plenty of bars and restaurants around you as well. This complex here, Los Diamantes, again, really popular holiday destination, and plenty of people live there permanently. And the Heights here, again, mainly residential, and there are some holiday apartments there too. Coming back in towards town, you've got Castle Harbour. This is a really popular complex with holiday makers. Even though it's up a steep hill, you do need to bear that in mind, but there's plenty of bars, as we've just seen, further down the hill, so you can always stop off for a bit of liquid refreshment if necessary. Now in front of Castle Harbour you've got El Cardon, which is this complex here, which is next door to the Portofino complex that I was talking about earlier. Now behind Castle Harbour and the Heights, you've got this area here which includes Royal Palm, which is an ideal holiday destination. I think you probably find some people live there permanently as well. And Port Royal, holiday complex as well as permanent residency. A lot of people think that there's a massive hill to climb up to here as well, because not only do you have to climb up as far as Castle Harbour, you have to go up another hill. So just be aware of that as well. But hundreds of people live in this area, so they can't all be wrong. You've also got another complex here called Colina Park, again mainly residential that I think. So going up this road, so this is Oasis, which is in front of Castle Harbour. You've got these residential properties here. You can see the Heights in the background, and there's Castle Harbour there. So you can see the steepness of the hill. Opposite the road from those residential properties is Vista Hermosa. So there are, I think, 4 phases to Vista Hermosa. You've got the villas here, and then you've got a selection of apartments. Some of these have got really nice views across Los Cristianos and out to La Gomera, so obviously sunsets are going to be really nice from the balconies there. And nice, quiet area. Listen to what was going on while I was videoing this. So just a bit further up towards the motorway, we've got a paddle court here, which is a bit of a mixture between tennis and squash. And then just next door to the paddle court, you've got this Meseta Del Mar Complex. So large villas, townhouses, which are predominantly residential, but I think people do let them out there on holidays as well. Now this photograph is from a fair way away, but there's this group of houses right on top of the hill. I think these would be quite nice to live in. You'd have to have a car because it would be a heck of a walk back down the hill, and then going back down the hill from these houses back down to the language school. You've got Los Arcos on the left hand side, and then Los Olicios and Los Sauces as well. The eastern side of Los Cristianos is a good mixture of residential and holiday complexes, and the majority of those complexes are in easy distance to the town centre and the beaches.